Hello everyone, welcome back to the workshop. So in this video we are going to be working on forging one of these feather dish blanks that I sell over at our website, blacksmithingblanks.com. You can check that out with the link in the description, or there might be a clickable one up here overhead that Jessica will put in there. So this is cut from a piece of 1/8 inch or 10 gauge mild steel plate sheet, if you will, and we are going to turn this into a dish. So we've got a long way to go to make this actually look like a feather. Right now it kind of has the profile of a feather, which is just part of the journey. So there's a lot of expression you can do with this, and you can take multiple routes to do it. So I'm just going to be showing you one way that I like to do it here in the shop. And so I hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's get right into it, shall we? So the first thing that we're going to do to turn this into a feather, or a really expressive feather, is I'm going to use a fuller and swedge method. Now this is on a spring fuller here, so this part's the spring, this part's the fuller, and this part's the swedge here. Now if you don't have something like this, you can use just a top tool like this sunk over a wood block. That produces a lot of smoke and things like that, so keep that in mind. You can use it over, again, like a pine block or something like that, and run in a central vein. But since I have this tool, I'm going to use this tool. Another method is you can actually take the blank, you can fold it together and really tightly beat that seam, and then reopen it back up, and that will create this protruded ridge. I've already done that in a video, which I will link up somewhere there down in the description before. So this is just taking a look at another option if you have some time to make a little small swedge depression and weld a little spring to a top fuller. This can even be done out of mild steel. It doesn't have to be tool steel. I don't have any layout lines or scribe lines, but that's okay. I'm going to work from the very end of the feather. I'll get it about where I'm going to end the piece. I want to try to make it as centered as possible. And then I'm going to strike it. And I'm going to work that through the dies. And again, I'm always trying to make that line go to center. And there we go. So I will probably take one more heat in this. I'll get this hot again. I'll take another heat and keep driving this down into the bottom of the dish, or keep pulling it up this way. Okay, now that we've got our vein established, whether you fullered it in via a wood block, you used a tool like I did, or you did your folding method, now we're ready to actually put in the texture along the sides. I like doing that with a fairly sharp cross peen hammer, and it gives it a really nice deep, and sharp looking texture to it. And then we'll also need a rawhide mallet or a wood mallet, just something that we can straighten it down and flatten it out. So I'm going to use the rawhide mallet first, because right now it has a bit of dome to it, which we don't want. So I'm going to flatten that down, the rawhide mallet. And now along the sides, along the edge, starting on the easy side, if you will, I'm going to start right at the back, and I'm going to aim out my hammer blows. Now the only thing here is you don't want to hit that center ridge. So if you got to stay off of it a little bit and leave a little bit of a negative space there, that's fine. But we don't want to hit that center ridge with our hammer blows. We do, however, want to add a lot of texture into the side of the feather, if you will. Brush it real good. There we go. We'll get another heat on it. Again, we're going to progress around that tip. You don't have to overdo this when you do it. Just, you know, keep it in line and work little stages at a time. Don't concern yourself with doing too much too quickly. It leads to inaccuracy. There we go. We've got this last little bit to do. Get that heated up. Okay, so here's the Swedge block I'm going to be using. If you don't have a Swedge block, don't worry. You can use a wooden dish and stump, just like people have been doing for thousands of years. Basically, just get you the end grain of a stump, preferably a hardwood, grind you a little depression, and char it. And then you can, you know, dish this feather bowl out right nice and easy in it. I have a video series on doing exactly that. That'll be linked up in the description as well if you want to go check it out. So I'm going to be using that in combination with a rawhide mallet. Why a rawhide mallet? Well, I don't want to beat to tarnation with a regular hammer, you know, that rib we put in there. I want to work to each side of it, but work with a soft mallet. That way I'm not taking out any of the texture we have fought so hard to put in. So I'm going to bring this out nice and hot. I'm going to set it over my dishing stump here, my little Swedge block, and I want to hammer that straight down. So as you can see, if you do have a Swedge block, this goes ridiculously quick, just ridiculously quick, which is a good thing. So it dishes really fast and easy. So now we get to start making some stylization choices. I'm going to start pointing out the leaf, and I'm going to start doing some other things with these sides as well. The important thing is we've got it set up into a dish format so far. And we're going to go ahead and take another heat and refine the shape a bit more to get a bit more cup into the sides. Out of the fire we come with it. I'm going to hit these sides up a little bit while the bottom side is being supported in the Swedge block. Again, if you're doing this on a stump, you just do it on a regular stump is fine. And this is just starting to wad up those edges of the feather and curling it in on itself. It's going to give it a bit more of an authentic feather look as well. So now I'm going to have to get this, I'm going to end up having to get this heated back up and continue on with the back. Hopefully you guys can see how that feather's starting to form. Okay, so this next part here is completely optional. You can do what you'd like, but you can choose to actually forge this little stem out, or the base of the feather, or the quill of the feather if you'd like. I think it makes it look a little bit more natural if you forge it out a little bit. Just like so on the near side edge of your anvil. I think it makes it look gives it just a little bit more of a, I don't know, natural flow to it. I just like it. I'll get in there, I'm going to brush some of the heavy scale off, the heavy forging scale off. Just so you guys can see what we got going on. All right, so there we have it. That is the feather dish and how to make it. Now again, this is not useful for like a cereal bowl or anything like that. This is a decorative piece that someone can set on their end table, and somebody like, oh, that's neat. You know, maybe you could throw some loose change in it. Maybe you could throw, you know, some small candies or whatever in it. But it's meant to be a decorative piece, and it's quite eye-catching. It's just like, oh, man, whoa, hey, what's that? You know, laying there. Just because it's not a flat object, it's a three-dimensional item on a table. That's what really sells this and makes it interesting. Now, I've just done a basic version here. You can really get expressive with this. I mean, you could really fuller out these lobes like crazy. You could really make the ridge even more pronounced than it is now. You could hammer in that ridge and make it taper from front to back. There's a lot of options that you could do with these to make them your own. So that's it for today. That's how you make this little feather dish that you can pick up over our website, blacksmithingblinks.com. And be sure to go check that out if you're interested. There's loads of other great blinks over there, leaves and maple leaves and bowls of all kinds and vessels and keychains and you name it. We've got it. And so go check that out if you like what you've seen here. And thank you to all of our channel members who make this content possible here online. We really couldn't do it without you. And yeah, look forward to seeing you all in the next video. God bless you. And we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.